Ebony Travis,
Hello.
girl. I love that smile on you.
Oh, thank you.
Have you
You make me
always
smile.
have you always had this infectious? You know what I noticed before as soon as I popped on the screen, the beautiful gift of your smile from ear to ear was waiting for me, and I think what a gift in our world just to even smile. Have you always had this sort of infectiousness?
I believe my mother has always told me that strangers that I meet just walking across the street or, in a restaurant, it literally people will say that. And I'm always humbled by it. But I just love smiling. It
Oh,
feels good. It feels good.
I gotta tell you, it's so amazing that you say this. I was in a room the other week with this beautiful man who I just felt this connection with. We started talking, and he was telling me about how he has been so much more intentional in today's climate with smiling and just to look at someone in the eyes and smile.
Hmm.
And it
Those,
just made right. It just made me think about these little acts of kindness that we can do that has a beautiful ripple impact. And I know that you live that. What small little intentional micro tools or micro moments do you create to spread these human moments in what can feel very transactional?
it's the smile. A smile goes a long way.
Mm,
It's like taking a picture, and it's a picture speaks 1,000 words. The memories, the smiles you see in them. For me, it's all about going in with the mindset of not thinking anything's negative or anything like
mm,
that, but just going in with that smile of, that is your business card.
mm,
And maybe not everyone smiles, and I totally get that and respect that, but it's how we the energy we give off. And
mm,
so I'm also intentional with my energy and making
mm,
sure that the energy that I'm giving off is not energy that makes people want to stay away, but
mm.
rather want to be near. They want to be
Yeah.
near you, you know?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it's the body language. The body language, smile, the energy, right?
So I have to ask you this because this makes me flash too, which I want to unpack on our first conversation love fest with each other. And here is to the power in this is what I love about you so much. One of the many things creating space for an unscripted conversation with another woman. How many times do we just, if there's not an agenda, if it's not contingent on receiving something, I don't have the time, we don't make the space for it. And you beautifully held space for me. And you had shared something that I will never forget. And it was, Meg, I am out here being authentically me. And I thought to myself, damn, that's good. What does being authentically you mean to you?
Wow. For me, it means being able not to change who I am, which is happy and positive, living my life out loud.
Mm,
Yes, on social media, I share my life. And I do that because I know I'm inspiring someone. I don't do negativity. I don't do
mm,
politics. I don't do
mm,
those things on there. On there, it's about living a life authentically
mm,
and living it out loud and
mm,
sharing that with others so that they too will feel compelled or the urge to say, I want to share something positive.
mm.
Many people will say what you see on social media isn't, all, but I'll have to tell you, it is all for me.
It
if
exists.
I'm having a day, I share like, hey, I went running in the woods and I just fell down, started crying. I'm having
Yeah.
an emotional time. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it hits me. And I want to make
Mm,
sure I share that with others so that they know that, no, I'm not always rosy, shiny, happy all the time, that
yeah.
I have moments of life. So living authentically is actually not changing who I am. And I'm
Mm,
showing up like that every single day, recognizing I have to tailor it every now and then to my audience
mm-hmm.
sometimes, and I recognize that. But at the end of the day, I try to make sure, no, not even try, I ensure I don't lose the essence of who I am.
Oh, God, that's good. Girl, what are we? A couple minutes into this and you already taking me to church? I already already threw my hands up in the air like preach. So I'm so curious about this because, I gotta tell you, and I think we talked about this. It has taken me so damn long to find myself. Like just got lost in the achievement and the wanting the validation that I didn't even know who I was. I had no opinion. And whatever I thought you wanted me to be is who I was. And I would love for you, Ebony, and the gift that you are, to share with our tribe. If one of our listeners is where I was for so long, like I don't even know who I am or what I like, or I don't even have a hobby. I don't know my opinion. Do you have any recommendations on how we can hear ourselves in this very
Mm.
loud world?
Yeah. I had a dear mentor share with me that we have to stay out of our heads because when we are in our heads, we're our worst enemy.
Mm,
And, when you're lost in a sense, right? Like you just don't know who or what or who you should be or what you should be doing, all those things. It really starts with taking the time. Some people may not like to do this, but journaling,
mm,
maybe writing down some things and understanding like this is what I like to do, this isn't what I like to do, this is where I find my passion. It's maybe just jotting down those things to get it out of your head, right? Because you got to get the cobwebs and everything out, all the things that are circulating in your head around us because of the external environment.
mm,
It's really taking time to pause and sit with ourselves and really ask ourselves those hard questions and start to unpackage that in a way that says, okay, I see myself
mm.
here. So what do I need to be doing? Or, hey, I don't want to be doing this. This is what I
Yeah.
want to be doing. And being intentional with creating small habits, right? Creating those small, what I like to call atomic habits. And I had
Mm,
another mentor introduce me to that. And it was amazing when we had a conversation around it, and she was inspired by me. And she said, because of
mm,
you, I created these habits that are now a part of my daily routine. And this is an executive leader who's looking
mm.
up to me. And I was like, wow, really? And she's like, I follow you on TikTok and Instagram and, Snapchat. And I see you and I smile and it makes my day. And so I started creating these small habits. And now
Mm.
these small habits are my healthy habits and they're a part of my daily routine. So again, when you feel lost or something, I think you've got to start with sitting down and, hey, having a conversation with yourself. Have a
Mm,
conversation with yourself. It's
mm,
okay. I talk to myself all the time. Talk to my
mhm,
dog, you know.
mhm,
Um, but just trying to find a way to unpackage that and lay it all out to figure out, how do I not get lost in this or in myself? And how do I go and find that hobby or that passion? And where do
mm,
I start? I can't say it's going to work for everybody, but it's worked for me and it's worked for a few others that are in my circle, where we found ways to say this is what we want to do and this is how we're going to show up.
mm.
And now they're happy and they're thriving, all because they took time to sit within themselves and pull everything out so that they could get out of their heads.
As you're talking, it just made me flash to, I gotta tell you, it really is the power of the pen that saved me. And for me, it was just, creating moments when the anxiety feels so much instead of wanting to numb with the phone or the buying or the emails or the thing, to create the space to hear myself. And I love to hear you say that, because don't we overcomplicate this simple stuff that is
Mhm.
just so powerful? I was just telling Michael this yesterday. I was traveling and there was one day, girl, one day where I didn't get to release pen to paper. I didn't get to move my body. And I felt, girl, so on edge.
Exactly.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, where is this anger like coming from? So talk to me a little bit about, what I know that you're active, because I follow you and I love to. I know you're active. I know as you're juggling all of the things, what little micro habits do you have for you that keep you connected to you as you do all of the things?
It's all about what I call self-care.
Mm,
I am very intentional, and my husband and my family know it. My mom knows it, my husband knows it, even my little fur baby. If I don't have that time to get up in the morning, sit with myself,
mm,
meditate, journal, listen to some short podcasts like yours, for example. I and most importantly, taking time to go get that workout that I thrive on. I have to have my 3 minute or 5 minute jog. I did 5 minutes, 5 miles this morning. I'm sorry, 3 miles or 5 mile jog. I did 5 miles this morning, and I was intentional about that. I said, if I don't get my 5 miles in, I am going to be upset with myself, and it's not going to be a good day, because I had already had in my head that was my goal. That was what I was going to do. And if you don't meet your goal, what do you do half the time? You feel like you just didn't accomplish anything.
yeah.
So I was on a mission and I did it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm having a great day. And my
Mm,
mom knows it. My husband knows it. Everybody knows it. I'm having a great day. And I'm like
yeah.
that every single day. But like you, Megan, if I don't get that moment, I'm like you. I feel like something's off. And
Yeah.
there's a little bit of sharpness in my voice, or a
Oh,
little bit of, yeah, I'm not feeling you today because I didn't do me. I can't do you right now. I can't
yeah.
do this.
Where everything's pissing you off and you're like, oh my God, like where'd that come from?
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about this is one of the many things I love about you too, Eb, is that you are running in many different lanes. I feel as women, and I'm speaking from experience, when you are out in the world and then you get validation for a certain thing, then it becomes the lane. And it's the lane you think you should be in, and you never get curious and switching lanes and coming back. And I love the fact that you are running well being for a global organization. You are also speaking. You are very active in sharing content. Talk to us and help help us, oh wise one, for our listeners that are in a lane but they're curious, they want to share something, maybe they want to write the book or they want to get on stages or they want to share things and they're like I don't know where to start, I could never do that. Any recommendations?
I surround myself with good people, like yourself. I see what you do. I think of a Jen Miller.
Mm,
I think of even my circle of friends I have back here at home in Dallas, Jen and Krista. I think of these women who I surround myself with,
mm,
who make me feel good. And that validation that you were talking about, it's
yeah.
not a validation about the work, but the validation about life. That, hey, you're living life, you're doing what you love. And I think what you first have to do is surround yourself with people that celebrate you because they encourage you and they see you and they want to shine. They're not blinded by your success
Mm,
or blinded by your happiness. Instead, they're like, hey, I want to help you. I want to cheer you on. I want to continue to support you. And by the way, what are some nuggets you could share with me? And we do that and we share it with each other and we cheer each other on. And so for me, it starts with the people, my group, my
mm,
friends, my social media friends, those again that are truly genuinely cheering you on. I think the other thing is we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And
mm,
that took me a while to get there. In order to get comfortable, you've got to be uncomfortable and you got to be nervous and scared. Because if you're not, yeah, that's a lot of confidence you got there. That's good. That's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I think you should be nervous and be a little bit scared about this great opportunity that you see in front of you and that you weren't sure you should go over in that lane and
mm,
do, but you do it and then in the end you feel good. You're like, what did I have to be nervous or scared about? I did it. And because I was surrounded by people who encouraged me to do it.
mm,
So I think you've got to go ahead and be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and seek to understand, seek to learn, be a continuous learner,
mm,
because that is what's going to help you grow. And that's wise words again from a dear mentor, where you want to be curious. You got to be curious,
mm,
ask questions.
mm.
So that way you can decide, is that a lane that I want to go ahead and explore? I think about what you said. I've been with my company for 27 years, Meg, 27 years. And the ongoing joke is I've held almost every role in that company, and that makes me feel really proud. Like, people know me, they see me, and it just reminds me why I love the people. The
Mm,
people are what matter to me. I love my job. I absolutely love what I do, and it's not a job.
Mm.
It is just something I absolutely love to do, and I will do it all day, every day, just because I know it's helping the people globally. And so, again, I just say that you've got I, my roles have not been the straight and narrow. I've had a
Mm.
variety of diversity in my roles,
Yeah.
and DEI being one of them. I've worked in legal compliance. I don't have a legal compliance background, but today I can say I do
Yeah.
because I've spent so many years working in the space and learning. And sales operations, working with sales, again, just a diverse amount of experience. That too helps you in getting out of the lane and going and doing something
Mm.
else. Diversify your portfolio. That's what I
Mm.
say. Yeah.
Girl, oh my God, I love it. So I have a piece of paper in front of me. I got shit written all over the place because you are just mic dropping right and left. Mic dropping. Girl, so I love you said God, you said so many good things right there. And the three nuggets that I got that I was like, oh hell yeah. One, you're gonna be scared. Like you're not gonna feel like it. I say all the time, Eb, if I was waiting for somebody to show up on my front door with a package and be like, "Girl, this is what you're gonna build. Come on in." Or if I was waiting for my husband to give me permission or for someone to give me permission, girl, I'd still be waiting. Like you gotta, you gotta listen to that inner gut whisper, and you gotta do it even when you don't feel like it. That's what I got from being scared, and I love
Yes.
that. I love that. Wow, what has being scared. Can you give us some tangible examples of how you were scared shitless, but you did it anyway?
Well, going into the legal compliance space, I
Mm.
had no background. All I had was passion for the policies, for education. Going into something where everyone else had their MBA already,
Yeah.
they were experts. I was getting my MBA at the time, so working towards that. And I just thought I'm going to fail. I went in with the wrong mindset. And
Mm.
then with the right mentorship
Mm.
and reminder, I actually came out on the other side, got promoted into, manager of communications and training at the time for global compliance. Again, doing things where I thought, this is, I don't know, but I
Mm.
learned it because I had to learn it for healthcare professionals. I had to learn it for policies within our company, and I had to learn it for our people so that I could educate them and
Yeah.
help them to avoid audits, things like that.
Yeah.
I think another great example is I'll even go back to my old days of, before I joined corporate America and doing, beauty pageants. I
Yeah.
thought, what the heck am I doing? There's no, I don't, yeah, nah, you know, I think about the fact that I'm getting on stage with all these beautiful women, and I'm like, what do I got nothing, but I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and do it because they say
Yeah.
it's gonna help me. Uh, and
Yeah.
of course I do it. And something that I don't share with a lot of people but the people that do know me is, even being, a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, going out there and doing that for a short stint. I thought, what am I doing? What am I
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
And you know what? Here I am, full circle. I
Mm.
survived. Okay,
Yeah.
I survived. But those are things where I'm like, who am I to be in this room with these people doing this?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
did it.
But you did it.
Yeah,
God, I
yeah.
love that. And that makes me think to the second beautiful nugget that you dropped, which is the power of your tribe and the evolution of it as you evolve and
Yes.
consciously curating it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would love for you to share with our tribe because here's what I know from my own experience, Eb. When life gets busy and the overwhelmed gremlins are knocking and you're exhausted by it all, it is easy to want to self isolate. And it is easy to not be in the rooms that would really create a beautiful tribe around you and lead to these serendipitous moments, but you talk yourself out of it because you're tired and all the things. What is a nugget that you can deliver to us, my sister, on how we can curate a hype tribe like you have done so beautifully in your
Mm.
journey to help us get to know ourselves and step into those scary situations and learn and evolve and all of the things?
It's for me, it's about the energy that people
Mm.
leave in the room or
Yeah.
leave or as they're standing in there. And I think it starts with knowing people, starting with that smile or that introduction of, someone that you just feel drawn to. A lot of times the people I'm surrounded with right now are just people I'm drawn to, that
Mm,
I've been drawn to and known over the years. And it's those opportunities where you go up and you introduce yourself, you meet them, you get to know them, and they get to know you. Because remember, it's a give and take. It isn't
mm,
just a one-way street, it's a two-way street. So the relationship should be a give and take.
yeah.
And so, building that and knowing that I'm surrounded by people that I'm giving to them just as they're giving into me, right? We're
Mm,
pouring into each other. And again, we're supporting each other. We feel that. We feel the genuine authenticity of
mm,
that support. And when
yeah.
you feel that positive vibe, it's real. Because I've you've heard and you've read how the older we get, our circle tends to become
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
I am proof. My circle is truly, truly small. I have friends,
Mm, mm-hmm.
but I have my true, genuine friends. And
Mm,
I can count them on less than my two hands here.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I keep them very, very small. And that's intentional because as we get older, we start to realize that we don't need everybody's validation. We
Mm,
don't need everybody to get us where we're going. We need those good, genuine people that truly care about you. And when you know that, you've got the right circle around you,
mm. I love
you
that.
know?
That's beautiful, especially in our algorithm driven world, right? Where it's about the how many followers do you have and
Mm-hmm.
what's the like
Yeah.
and what's the thing. That's a beautiful reminder. That's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, thank you for that. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to ask you, my girl, the foundation of you talking about being authentically you, which speaks to me so much, especially since I've struggled with it for so long. And as we talk about the way that we work now in this high speed with a lot of, it can feel transactional at times.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
can feel like everyone else has it figured out but you.
Mm-hmm.
How can we bring our authentic self into the way that we work, in the way
Mm-hmm.
we're working today? Any nuggets or anything that you do?
Yeah, I do. I believe it's in getting to know the people that you're working with. You
Mm,
Many times we tend to dive right into the conversation, into the work, into the project, instead of just taking a break, a beat,
mm,
and saying, why don't we use this opportunity before we dive into this project because we're going to be working together for a while, and let's go around and get to know each other. And we do a lot of this like virtually, this hybrid world that we work in, or when I'm on site, we take the opportunity to get to know one another. What's one thing you would like everybody to know about you? Some people share, you've heard of insights. So some people will share that I'm a high yellow, or I lead with red, which is, be brief, be bright, be gone, or I
yeah.
lead with blue. I need all this data.
Yeah.
People will share that because they want people in the room to know that I'm not trying to be rude, that they're not trying to be rude, but they just want you to know how they lead with when they work on
Mm,
projects. And
mm-hmm.
then they want you to know, like, hey, I have kids. And so I might have to duck out, or this time of the day may not work because I have
Yeah.
to go pick up my kid from childcare. When we take the opportunity to truly get to know one another when working on a
Mm,
project, it is amazing the strengths that we can use from one another and the relationships and bonds you build so that you
mm,
want to continue to work together even on future projects, or you want to be the person that's mentioned when you're not in the room, like, hey, I was working with Meg on this project. I'd never worked with her before, but she is amazing. Oh, she got us through the project, kept us in line, that type of stuff. So I feel like we can truly be our authentic self if we allow the space
mm,
to just get to know one another for a moment, take a beat before we
mm.
dive right in to that big project or assignment or something that we're working on. That
Yeah.
that has truly helped. Again, 27 years with the same company, I love the people. And it's because always taking the time to get to know one another and have a
Mm,
conversation and ask that question, how are you doing today? How you
mm.
doing?
And allow and actually allow time to
Uh-huh.
right.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I gotta tell you, girl, where were you my whole life? So, 15 years working for the same organization, and I gotta tell you, I never took a beat to get to know the people around me. because I was so head down in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I had the courage to get to know myself, as you were talking about
Yeah.
beautifully earlier in those micro moments for you and the creating
Mm-hmm.
rituals,
Mm-hmm.
did I begin to share them in the
Mm-hmm.
rooms. And then people began to feel comfortable sharing things with me. And I was like, shit, I worked alongside you for 10 years and I never knew that about you. And so I feel called to say that is one of the power of how you kickstarted this beautiful conversation with us on these micro moments for you before you let the rest of the world in.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Mm, I
Girl,
love it.
I want to ask you this really powerful, well, to me, it's a powerful question because I think reflection is such a beautiful gift. And as we're sprinting to the next thing, we can
Mhm.
lose sight in our evolution and how much we've already done and the power of reflection. Eb, if we were going to go in the DeLorean, I'm doing a Back to the Future reference, and we're going to take you back to a little Eb, what would you tell your younger self in this moment in time?
I would tell myself to believe in yourself
Mm,
because a lot of people believe I'm more confident than I think I am, or that I
mm,
believe in myself more than I think I do. And I'll be honest with you, I have those moments where I don't. I feel like I'm just putting up this front, and I'm really not who I am. There's no way I'm this smart. There's no way I can be doing this. And a lot of that is that self-doubt, but I do that to myself. And so I would want to tell my little self, believe in yourself.
mm,
You've got this.
mm. That's beautiful. And I got to tell you what, my girl, here is to the power of the women that we stand beside, because here's what I want you to know as someone who has had the gift to stand by you online and build a beautiful friendship with you. Girl, keep bringing you to the rooms that you're in because it is powerful and it is felt and it is magnetic. And I love that you've had the courage to continue to evolve because I'm not the only one who can say that you impacted our lives. Thank you, Eb.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. This was a great conversation. I
Oh my God, it
appreciate it.
was. I got to tell you what, I didn't even realize how bad I needed this soul food today. I was kind of going through the motions myself. And see, that is the power of making the space for things like
I love it. I
that.
absolutely love it. Well, you keep rising and shining too. Your podcasts are amazing and they are inspiring. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, but for our tribe that is salivating, oh my God, you almost got me in tears over here. That is salivating like I am over you. Where can we stay connected with you and find more of you?
Oh, of course. I'm always on LinkedIn, our professional network, but you can also see me having some fun, dancing it out, working it out on my Instagram page at Ebony Travis. So that's where you can find me. My LinkedIn, Ebony Travis Tishner, Instagram, Ebony Travis.
Beautiful. Y'all, I'm going to link them in the show notes. I am a huge fan of Eb on both platforms. And I got to tell you, the gift that is you is palpable and magnetic. And so thank you for being
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Mwah.
Thank you.